Hey, GM everyone. Welcome to this week's town hall. We've got a few proposals on our agenda, but first I just want to make a quick announcement about the incentives payouts. So we've crunched all the numbers, verified them, double checked with Ryan, and Jade also helped to verify those numbers as well. And we've got all our final results, so I'll post them here. But before I do, I just want to say, or just want to send a shout out to Jiggly Jams, who we have in the audience, for serving on the Senate this quarter and also taking the top position in our community circle. And another shout out to Jade as well, who will be joining the Senate this quarter as one of the top 5 contributors in this cycle. So with that out of the way, I will share the link here to the sheet. Let me actually just share my screen real quickly. I won't go into this in too much, but I just want to be transparent about these results. Okay, so if you check out the sheet, the first thing you're going to see is this. Lots of numbers here, but what this is essentially doing is just showing how these numbers at the end were calculated. So these are you can see here's our contributors, here's the distribution amounts. If you want a simpler view, this tab on the end basically shows you exactly who is receiving how much ETH and at each address. The other tabs here, I just want to give you I won't go into them in detail. I just want to explain the purpose.
Itchy.
Oh,
Sharing your Discord.
Oh, geez, you can't see my screen? One sec.
Thanks.
How about now?
Yep.
This is good? Okay. So yeah, sorry, let me start over. This is the first sheet I was talking about. You can see here are our contributors this quarter, and then here are the ETH and Mooney amounts to be distributed. And everything else in between is part of the calculations that go into that. In this sheet, you can see exactly who received how much on each project. And so that is factored in as well. In this sheet, you can see how the Mooney and ETH distribution amounts, the pool amounts were calculated. And then in these sheets here, you can see everything from the Senate distribution to getting that normalized, factoring in the community circle in this sheet, and then factoring in the snapshot results to give us these percentages, these distributions to each project. And then in this final sheet, you can see the actual addresses that we're sending all of this ETH to. So this transaction has already been queued up. Our top 5 contributors this quarter is Colin, me, Titan, Dr. Eiman. Jaymon was actually in the top 2, but has some other commitments this quarter, and so won't be able to step up. And you can't see it here because they didn't actually receive any ETH, but because of the MVP. But Jade is next in line after Jaymon, before Jiggly here. And if we jump back here, you can see it here. And so, yeah, it'll be Colin, me, Titan, Dr. Eiman, and Jade as the top 5 senators this quarter. So that's basically it. The transaction is in the queue. We will be queuing out, or we'll be paying out ETH here as soon as we get all the signatures. And regarding Mooney, I just want to make a quick announcement. So this quarter, in order to simplify the distribution process, we're going to be doing something a little different. Essentially, what will happen is I'll be working with each of the contributors. I'll send each person basically 1 Mooney on Arbitrum, and we're going to ask you stake that 1 Mooney for 4 years, and then basically we can just bump up that stake amount for you, and so you'll have the full amount staked for 4 years. So a little, just like one extra step for each contributor to claim that. And next quarter, we'll be working on a system that makes that even more streamlined and straightforward for people to claim their rewards. So um, yeah, I'll be reaching out to everyone individually to make that happen, and then we'll get the VMooney payouts. So that's it. Again, thanks everyone again for helping make this quarter a success, helping distribute all these funds. I know it's a lot of work and it requires a lot of participation from everyone. So I'm very grateful that we that it ran so smoothly this quarter as well. So yeah, that's basically my update. And with that, we can move on to our proposals for uh, this governance cycle. So we've got starting off the contribute 5 ETH to Juicebox, the Juicebox V4 audit. So I guess we'll get Jiggly up here if you want to jump up on stage. Think maybe I need to invite you. There we go. Hey, how's it
Hey,
going?
how's it going? First off, thanks everyone for community circle support. Appreciate it. Feels good to be recognized. Thank you. And yeah, onto this proposal. Yeah, we discussed it a little last week. If there's any questions, about what the funds will be used for, what Juicebox V4 or RevNets are, we can talk about that now. But pretty straightforward contribution. No project mode necessary here. Helping fund the future of Juicebox. So happy to take any questions and share screen with the proposal. Sure. One sec. So yeah, this is the proposal, largely the same from last week. Just a bit last minute that I submitted last week, so didn't pass the temperature check. And so made some slight edits. Um, Added some information about going to like the about page to read more about Juicebox V4, and I had some information that Ryan asked about, like what the total amount they're trying to raise is, and about 7. Oh, sorry, I thought you were talking about my screen, Ryan. So yeah, they're trying to raise 30K. So you know, MoonDAO's supporting a significant amount of that, which is great. And I think, yeah, Dr. Eiman said the audit sounded fair. I think you're being serious about auditing your code. I'm not sure if you're what code you were referring to, but I think that was serious. And yeah, open any questions or comments, concerns.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's important to audit these things. And yeah, I did have a crypto company that I was in process, though we never launched, but it took about 20K for all the stuff that we were trying to do. So I think what you're asking for is reasonable and I think important. So I mean, I support this.
Awesome. Thanks. Yeah, I didn't know you had that. That's cool.
Yeah, I think this makes a lot of sense too, just because it's really providing a foundation for Deprize, which is like a cornerstone, big milestone on our timeline. So we want to make sure it has a really solid foundation. And this, yeah, it's obviously like it takes money for this type of work to happen. So I support it. I'll give you my temperature check. I am wondering, are and this is maybe a bit of a side note, are senators able to do the temperature check now?
Yes, should be
Cool.
possible.
Great.
Looks like it's working.
I
And there's
also I also gave all the senators a project lead role temporarily, so it will work regardless. But I'll fix that up here right after our call.
okay, sweet. Yeah, and then there's some, there's some linkage of all this to RevNets, and there's if people want to learn more about that, I sent a very detailed memo written by mostly Django, who's been working on this for over a year now, and it's really coming together. Just what all this stuff is gonna kind of make possible. So check it out, super cool, and thanks for your support.
And I want to second Pablo's comment there. Rev nuts are awesome. I mean, you're saying check it out, but everyone really, really should check it out. Rev nuts are super cool. Cool. Thanks, Jiggly. Yeah, so if we want to get our senators here to do a temperature check on this, the link is above here. I actually posted the links directly to the temperature checks in the agenda. And just a quick mention as well to Jade, who we have in the audience here, that this will be you can do the temperature check now as well. Well, please do. And yeah, I guess if there are no other questions, then we can move on to the next item on the agenda here, which would be Deprize Development. Hand it over to Pablo.
Cool. All right. So can you guys see this all right and hear me? Okay.
Yep.
Cool. All right. So this is a proposal to basically continue building towards the Deprize, but this time we're actually tackling it directly. So a lot of what we've been building towards over the last year has been the foundation. So we're building each of the components that are required for the Deprize. But now we've kind of finished building this foundation, and now it's time to tie everything together. So we've built an identity primitive with the citizens NFT. We've built a collaboration primitive with the teams system. We've built a capital allocation primitive with the retroactive rewards, and also governance with Nance. So all of these are components that will be required to fully integrate the Deprize into MoonDAO, and also our friends at Juicebox have been building a component that we'll be using for financing, which is the RevNet that Jiggly Jams is talking about, which is kind of it's a new evolution on the Juicebox protocol that MoonDAO used to finance originally. So essentially, once we have all of these components working end to end, we've built somewhat of like a fractal of the of what MoonDAO has done, mostly manually, but now much more codified and I guess actually built on smart contracts with a lot less operations overhead, such that we can launch many prizes and have this sort of collaborative competition within the DAO. So you can think of kind of this evolution of MoonDAO as like switching from cost plus contracting, where we're covering costs for a given team to work on something, and kind of do what Elon asked of NASA, where SpaceX would only get paid if they actually delivered on the thing, and they're willing to compete with Boeing and other orgs that were getting these like very big contracts, and then actually able to deliver faster. And so that's the kind of system that we want to build into the foundation of MoonDAO. So this was grabbed from kind of this is from the roadmap that was put together, the sort of master plan that was published about a year ago. That just kind of outlines some of the limitations of our current system, which is basically that once we hand off the execution of a proposal to a team, there's a very big trust handoff that occurs, and that team has a monopoly on the execution of the proposal with all of their costs covered. So really their incentive is actually to drag their feet, because if they don't actually deliver on everything that's in that proposal, they'll get funded for a new proposal later on. So this system does not really work, and it's the system that basically all DAOs today use. So we need to find more efficient methods of basically completing the DAO's objectives, and the Deprize is is our stab at kind of making this evolution in DAO coordination. So it sets up a collaborative competition. So it creates an abstraction layer between the objective that the DAO has and the people that will complete that objective. So it'll launch basically a competition. So it can still be the group that creates the prize. They can submit a team to compete within that prize, but anyone else can outcompete them. And so I think that this keeps everyone honest. It allows for other people to immediately start contributing within the organization and get paid for those contributions. And if someone can do things better than others, well, we should have a bit of a meritocratic system. And so, that's kind of the idea in a nutshell. But we've been building towards this for a long time, like I mentioned, with the citizens, teams, the retroactives, governance. So what we're going to be doing this quarter is essentially 3 kind of main sub-objectives within this proposal, 2 of which are basically following through and improving the Space Acceleration Network, which is the citizens and teams system, and then also the automated retroactive rewards, which Jade has built out. So by the end of this project, we'd like to have a full end-to-end prototype of the Deprize, so a fully configured RevNet that then launches this competition, so that multiple teams can compete within one prize. And that's kind of been something that we've been working towards for a long time, so it's exciting to see it kind of come up over the horizon here. So yeah, benefits, I mean, beyond just the Deprize, we are going to be doing a lot of improvements to the citizens and teams functionality, and then also the retroactive system that Jade put together. This isn't live on the website, but Michi was just showing a bunch of the retroactives that are currently being done in a spreadsheet. Jade was able to recreate all of those calculations via an automated mechanism that reads votes on chain and then spits out what the allocation amounts for everyone is, and was able to emulate or basically get the same results as what we've been doing in a spreadsheet. So it's also wild that it worked just that first time. Usually things kind of take a few iterations to get working, but Jade is awesome and was able to pull off a fully functioning system on the first try there. So here's the 3 objectives. So actually starting development on the Deprize. The objective number 2, which will be led by Ryan, is a pretty massive follow through with the citizens and teams. So continuing promotion of the system. We already have I don't know how many citizens now. It's over 40, which is amazing. And teams are starting to put together. They're putting things on the marketplace, jobs. So we're starting to see people actually use a lot of the tools within the team system, which is amazing too. We want to expand to other chains, add some email notifications, Discord integrations. We want to do gasless transactions so that people can list things without having to pay any gas. Connect the retroactive system. So yeah, I mean, I'm not going to read every single one of these, but it's basically improvements that we've identified on a bunch of different, aspects of that citizens and teams. So a big one here is this onboarding dashboard. Yeah, I won't go through every single one of these, but there's a lot in here. And then the third objective is basically follow through and improvement of the retroactive reward system, which will be used by the Deprize, especially this claim button, so that people can claim their rewards really easily in a click of a button. Yeah, so we're bringing Jade on full-time on this proposal. So that's really exciting. Jade's pay is higher here because everyone else is getting paid via EB as well. So we're able to kind of like subsidize, I guess, the work done on this proposal. And yeah, got 5 people on the multi-sig here. Yeah, also big shout outs to Jiggly Jams and Mitchie. This proposal flow is feeling very sturdy. Went through it end to end this time with this proposal and didn't really hit many snags. So yeah, I'll take any questions. I saw there's a question from Phil in here. And yeah, if anyone else has anything that they want to ask, feel free to post it in the chat or jump up here on stage. Phil's question is, how small can a Deprize project be, bounty sized? Yeah, in theory, it could be as small or as big as we want. So we want to use it for some really big audacious goals that we have. So we'll likely focus the use cases on these like bigger goals, but we want it to be a general purpose allocation tool. So think of it like rather than a project being passed via our governance, everything becomes a prize, and then everything can be competed on. So just like we have some projects that are really big and then others that are relatively smaller, same idea. Phil asked, does MoonDAO take a fee for organizing? Well, we're still working out how we want to monetize the system. I mean, something that we've been talking a lot about is helping orgs finance. So if that's a service that we're doing for a particular org and like setting them up with RevNet, that might look different. But if it's something that MoonDAO is doing, yeah, I guess this question hasn't really been fully fleshed out. Focusing, I guess, less on the fee aspect of things and more just on the functionality for now. Cool. Any other questions? If not, I will. Yeah, I guess we can just go to temp check.
Cool. Give me one sec here. I'll repost the link for anyone who wants it. There we go. Cool. Looks like it passed.
Awesome. All right. Thanks, everyone.
Great. So that will be going up to snapshot in a few hours here. And just double check. Did Jiggly's proposal pass as well?
Can you repost the link for
Yes, it
Jiggly's? Okay, good. Never mind.
It did pass. Yeah.
Great. So we'll have both of these going up to snapshot later today. And yeah, if there are no other questions, that's basically it for the proposals. We can jump right into roundtable updates. So first is Ryan with the New Worlds Conference, which is coming up here soon.
Thanks. Yeah, we're still putting together the pieces. Pablo's preparing slides and the presentation. We're getting together materials there and kind of finalizing some of the travel logistics. Yeah, hopefully we'll be seeing quite a few of you in Houston coming up here pretty shortly. So yeah, looking to be a good event. Obviously, Eiman and Pablo will both be speaking, and Ben will be speaking too as well, I believe. But yeah, there's a few folks that are here in the audience that we're looking forward to seeing over there. Otherwise, no major updates there.
Cool. Thanks, Ryan. Yeah, I'm excited. I got my flight finally booked here today. So yeah, excited to see everyone there. But if that's it for updates, we can move on to our next two, which are both from Dr. Eiman.
Hello, how's everyone doing today? I'm glad to hear those things went through for temperature check. Few things going on. Let's see, yesterday was a big day, as in this week, because my alma mater, where I graduated high school from, invited me back to come talk to the kids. So we did a large auditorium of like 100 plus high school kids. And then we did like a small group session with about 20 kids that was, a little bit more intimate. They could ask questions and just sat with them for an hour. The MNPS people, like the people from the Metro Public Schools, invited press. So there was, I think there was 5 different local news media outlets, including a Spanish speaking one. And so I interviewed with them. One has already posted, on the internet. I haven't had a chance yet to look if the other ones are up. And then we also, for the second proposal, started taping the docu-series. So yesterday was a lot of the heavy lifting with, filming a lot of things and then doing an interview. And there's like an archive room in my old high school, because the building was the first historically Black kind of high school in Nashville. It was a big one and a more famous one. And so we did the interview in there that will be used kind of going forward when they're making the docuseries. Other things I'm doing a podcast on Friday. I forget with who, but it's a space related podcast. And then I have New Worlds coming up. I'm doing a Space Kind session this weekend on Sunday. So I'll be doing that, and then just kind of seeing what comes up. And if I can do it, I try to do it. But sometimes, obviously, schedules won't allow me to join in everything. The one thing that came up, and I don't know what the best way to approach it is, Jerome was wondering if we can hire a photographer to take pictures of the production that would then be used for like advertisement for the larger docuseries. I didn't know how we as a community felt, and so I wanted to bring that up. The project is going to cost $8,750 for basically 5 events, going to 5 different schools, and then also like producing it and putting it together and everything. So that's how much money's been allocated. That did not include $1,000 for photography. And he brought it up yesterday. So just wanted to get an idea out there of what people thought.
Yeah, I brought this up too with our executive EB branch meeting this morning. So I think if you want, like, the thing that makes the most sense would probably just be to submit like an addendum proposal there for the extra $1,000 that we can vote on as a community again here. I guess next week's Senate meeting, that makes the most sense. But
Okay.
yeah, basically just resubmit the original proposal and add in that portion of the budget.
Okay, I can do that. Anyone have any questions? There have been some things I've had to turn down. Speaking wise, there was like a Indian American physician group speaking at Huntsville. Like they're getting together in Huntsville, and they asked me to speak, which would have been cool because it's at the Space and Rocket Center. But I just, I'm on call that weekend, so I can't actually drive 2 hours to go do it. I think that's the only thing I've said no to. So I think we have like 7 or 8 stuff already lined up going forward. So there still is interest. Oh, last night, the other thing I got to do, which was cool, is I used to volunteer at the Science Center here. And so they were doing a fundraising event showing their new planetarium projector, which is like 7K images. I mean, it's pretty incredible. But they had myself and then my brother, who is also a physician and who was the COVID head here in Nashville, on a panel. It was just like us two. We were the main event. So it was pretty neat because about 110 people showed up to hear us talk and hopefully donate to the Science Center.
Nice. I'm glad you're continuing all the good work that you're doing. It's actually really great seeing so much media and publication around all of this.
Yeah, and I did go on Eliza's show, so thank you for putting out there, Ryan, on the chat. So the post-flight interview, so you can check out the pre and the post-flight interview.
Nice. Cool. Okay. Well, if that's it for updates, then I guess we can jump into the open floor. So if anyone up here on stage or in the audience wants to raise their hand, I see we got Phil, so we'll get him up here. But yeah, if anyone wants to just bring up anything MoonDAO space related, any announcements to make, just either write in the chat or raise your hand. We'll get you up here. Hey, Phil.
Hey everyone, as always, I have open floor things to bring. I am flying back to the USA tomorrow. I spent last week in Milan at IAC, wearing multiple hats, and one of the most exciting hats to wear was as a MoonDAO core contributor. There's a lot of interest in everyday people, as in people that haven't made it their career to be in space, to actually participate in the space industry. There's a lot of interest in MoonDAO as a vector to actually see things happen, right? So I just wanted to flow that feedback up. And as far as projects, I did mention a bunch of different projects, and the ones that were resonating the most with people were the Analog Astronaut program, as in, a tiered way, a funnel of educating people to be able to live and work on the moon, and included in that cohort of people that was interested were 3 or 4 analog astronauts who belong to 2 analog astronaut organizations. So they all seemed really interested. I got all the contact information. So that was really cool. And the Deprize also as a concept was intriguing to people, but it's not. I was kind of not explaining it that much and not explaining it very well. So I hope that that can come together, and it would be great to have like an elevator pitch that I could give to people. But the Space Acceleration Network was also a big hit for people that are just starting their organizations or startups that don't have any money yet, or have very little. They're really excited about being part of the network. Individuals who want to get involved but don't have a professional way to do so are getting on there. And I was extending the network through Open Lunar as well. Lastly, me and Ashley presented our collaborative competition idea for using atomic clocks for the moon as the carrot for multiple universities to compete, where the first two teams to communicate with each other would win the prize. This is one of the ideas that I've been having that fits very nicely into the Deprize framework. It was really well received, and yeah, I think it's one of many things that we can get right away into Deprize as an example of real work that can really impact the industry and education. I have a lot of business cards. I'm going to write up my thoughts. Met a lot of really interesting people, and yeah, that's all I got. Give me some time, and I'll talk to y'all soon.
Well, thanks for the updates, Phil. That's sick to hear that there's so much interest in obviously your project and Deprize and MoonDAO in general. That's great to hear. But yeah, I don't see any other hands up in the audience. If we don't have any other questions here, I think that would be it for today. We can wrap things up.
Have a great day, folks.
Cool. Great. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, team.
Yes.
Bye.
Welcome to MoonDAO, a revolutionary governance model and mission-oriented community that's reshaping collaboration in the space industry. Our mission is to create a self-sustaining, self-governing settlement on the moon to act as a launch point into the cosmos. MoonDAO is governed like a nation, with its own economy, constitution, voting system, treasury, elections, and senate, but internet native, and so without the limitations of geography. In 2022, we sent our first member to space, showcasing our model's capacity for real-world impact. Now, we're implementing key solutions for global collaboration in the space industry. We offer a borderless, permissionless platform that enables everyday people to participate in the future of space development and exploration. Be part of our lunar legacy and join the MoonDAO movement today.